Thank you very much, Nana and Z, for having me. It's an opportunity, it's an honor to be here, and I don't take this for granted at all. I know somewhere last year he had been pushing to have me on, but my busy schedules also didn't allow me. But finally, I'm here, and I'm excited for this opportunity. Wow, being the last speaker, after they've said it all, after these great minds have said it all. Anyway, I'm also here to share my story. I'd like to start by asking, how many of us have been disappointed in life before? How many of us have failed in life before? How many of us have felt sad, disgraced, humiliated, rejected, disappointed, hurt? All sorts of descriptions. Yeah, most of us have been there. If you've been there before, I'd like you to put your hands together for yourself. Give yourself a round of applause. Great. I asked us to give ourselves a round of applause because if you've been there, then it means that perhaps you've overcome it by now, or you're still in the process of overcoming, which is good, which is progress, and that's all we all hope for. But if your life has been smooth, you've never had any bumpy ride, you've never had any roller coaster, it's been all smooth and cool for you, then maybe it's time for you to put down some strategies on how to overcome them, because the challenges will surely come in life. You'll be hit at one point or the other, but it really does not matter how you start or what brings you down or what challenge comes your way, but what matters is how you get up from that challenge, what you make out of those challenges. Okay, so my name is Karley Mettle Addo. That's my full name. Okay, Addo is actually my maiden name. I've forgotten I'm married. So now I'm Karley Mettle Tutu. But you call me Karley Mettle for my stage name because obviously my name is so long. So Karley Mettle. I'd like to start by sharing a story of a girl. I'd like to tell the story of a girl. So a Ghanaian girl born into a loving family, beautiful girl, admired and loved by many. From her early childhood, she was said to be very vocal, loved to sing, liked to dance, Sunday school, do anything that projects her or puts her in the limelight because she was passionate about those things. Those things made her happy. She had the best of education from her parents, junior high school, senior high school, went to one of the best of schools in the country. She was very confident, very intelligent, but in senior high school, she encountered a couple of challenges because it was a very keenly contested class. At a point, she felt she wasn't good enough. She was hopeless because she was struggling so much with her academics to the point that at a point her headmaster told her, if you are not careful, that was in her final year, if you're not careful, you won't go to the university. We would have to repeat you. And this struck her so badly, even though she was admired by so many of the students in the school because of her leadership, organizational, and an interpersonal relationship. She really felt bad about it, but she worked hard, made an extra effort, and she earned her grades. And by dint of divine intervention of a cut-off point by WAEC for girls, she entered into the university. Okay, so she entered into the university as a quiet, calm person, but some opportunities presented their way to her. And those opportunities were public speaking opportunities where she had to represent some student groups and speak on their behalf. And she rose up to those occasions to the surprise of many, thinking she was quiet, shy, reserved, what have you, but she rose up to those occasions. Little did they know they were in for a bigger surprise because God was going to do bigger and better things with her after that tertiary level. So fast forward to after university, she joined a local community church where she served as a singer and as an MC. In fact, the first day her pastor saw her, he told her, "You're going to MC for us in this church." He had no idea she had those abilities. And that pastor wasn't a prophet or a seer, but he said out of some intuition. And she said, "Okay, I'll do it." So for 3 continuous years, she was in the church She was serving as a singer, and at a point she focused on emceeing in that church. And everybody in the church was like, oh, you're good. So any major church events, they call her, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that for us? Okay, so that was the church part of her after school. And the work part of her, she was opportuned to work in a great organization. After her national service, she was retained. And she was sent to one of the best or the most envied departments in that organization. And she was loved and admired by many as usual. But at a point, she felt some level of misfit in that organization. She felt she wasn't really living her purpose there. She wasn't making impact. She wasn't learning. She wasn't growing. And there came some moments of rejection, some moments of disappointments, and what have you. So she had to withdraw and then go back into her closet and do some retrospection, analyze herself. Okay, so I'm going through pain, I'm going through all this, got a little bit of counseling, and finally, by the grace of God, she rediscovered herself. She found passion in something that was within her. And she responded to that passion. She put life back in herself and said, you know what? I may be jobless. I may not be earning money like my friends. I may not be traveling. I may not be enjoying life as it is, but there's something within me. There's something that I can bring out of me to bring life to myself and to people around me. So she decided that I'm going to MC events, not just in church. I've done church for a while. I've served. I've paid my dues. Now I want to come out of my comfort zone, out of my space, and come out into the public. So she discussed that with her pastor. Pastor, this is what I want to do. This is the decision I've made. What do you think? He was like, you know what? You have my blessing. Whatever you want to do, do. And he said something that really stuck with her till date. He said, dreams are free. If dreams are free, why dream small? Dream big. If dreams are free, why dream small? Dream big. So dream big. Go out. I will not limit you to the church, because I would have failed as a pastor to you if I limit you to the church. And so she had that blessing, and then she started talking to people about it. Okay, so I like meeting people, I like events, I like moderating events. So someone said one day, should I give you the opportunity? Have you heard of TEDx Accra? And I was like, okay, yes, I've heard of TEDx Accra. So I'll give you 2 opportunities at the British Council. And the opportunities came, they presented themselves. And then she responded to the opportunities, very small events, similar to these gatherings. And she emceed, and people were surprised. Who is this? What's this? And after proving herself for those 2 consecutive occasions, and bear with me, those 2 consecutive occasions were voluntary. She didn't receive any sort of remuneration from them. She proved herself, and then they said, okay, now that you've proven yourself, we'll give you TEDx Accra in the National Theatre. So that very year, she decided to move out of her comfort zone. The National Theatre was given to her, and she performed, and it was great. Okay, and that was because she had prepared for several years in the wilderness, in the church, in Kaswa somewhere, where no one knew her. And so when that opportunity was given her, she performed, and the world got to know of her. Now that was her breakthrough. And so that girl I've been talking about all this while is me, standing right in front of you. Okay, so that was my breakthrough. That has been my story. People have known me as a shy, quiet, reserved person. Even though I talk, when you get close to me, you know that I can really, really talk. But sometimes I get into your space and like to settle down, observe how things go before I start, talking. That has been my story. So that was the breakthrough in 2016. And so 2017, I decided that I'm going to go pro, like professional. So the first year was like my first year of learning out of church, because that was only out of church, but now you're in the public, so you have to learn different things on the ground. So I had to learn within that year, do a lot of voluntary work, what have you. And then 2017, I went pro, started emceeing people's weddings, people's functions, parties, what have you. And that very year, by the grace of God, I had a state event to Emcee where we had heads of states, diplomats, what have you. And the journey has been great. One good thing is that I had a mentor, just like she told me. I had a mentor who was also in the Emcee, who is in the Emcee space. So that gentleman identified me through social media. He said, "Oh, young lady, you're great. You're doing good. But I think if you do A, B, and C this way, it would go better for you." And so I took his advice, and gradually, as I kept emceeing other events, other people suggested to me, "You are great as an MC by all standards, but I think it would be better if you do corporate emceeing. That would work better for you. That would help you carve your own niche and you perform better as compared to the hey events." And so I did another introspection, and then I realized it's actually true. By my nature, by my appeal, I'm very much of a corporate person, and I flow better with that as compared to all the noise and all that, even though I get into my elements at times. So I took that advice into consideration, and I executed or implemented that advice. And then that is when I transitioned from Addo Karley. Initially, I was using the name Addo Karley. It's a Ghana name. Addo Karley as a general MC to Karley Mettle. So at least you can identify me with my first name and then my surname as an MC. Okay. Now, challenges. Challenges did come my way. I'm sure you'll be asking, it looks like she's had an all rosy ride when she started MC. No, challenges did come my way. Challenges did come my way because, first of all, family, which is supposed to be your basic support or foundation, did not understand me one bit. They did not understand why this girl wants to be everywhere. Going today, she's chasing here. Oh, I'm going to help Teddy. I'm going to help this person. I'm going to do this. And we're organizing an event. Oh, I'm emceeing. I'm introducing this. I didn't understand because you'd have to move from Kaswa to town every day and you're coming back with nothing. There was no sense. Young girl, you go out and you come back very late because you are the MC. You have to wait for everything to be over, for closing prayer to be said, for closing remarks, and then greet some people, make some networking, so you get home back late. And even whilst you're at the event, your parents are calling. Why are you? Can't you say it's late? You're not driving. Oh, but I still had to, manage my way through, work my way out. At a point, my dad also wasn't well, and so it was very, very difficult managing the two. You'll be at home, you have to support. Before you even go out for an event on a Saturday, you are tired. Like you're extremely tired because you've worked, you've woken up early, you've cleaned, you've cooked, you've washed, you've helped one way or the other. Make sure everything is okay before you leave the house. So that is responsibility. So by the time you get there, you're tired. But you have to still make up nicely, wear your clothes, wear your heels, and make sure that you give the people a good time, because that is where what you've promised them, you have a brand promise and you have to deliver on that brand promise. Okay, so that was one challenge, family. That's what I just talked about. The next one was friends. Okay, my friends, my acquaintances from school, they knew me as a quiet, likable, nice person, always smiling. You don't even talk. Like, I won't talk unless I have to answer a question in class or something, minding my own business, straight to the point, unless I have to do something that needs to be done, but you won't really hear of me or anything. So for them to even resonate with the new Karley, it was difficult for them. Like, is she really the one? Like, is she really the one? Really? Is that her? Is that her now mounting stages, talking? Some of them will call you, oh, is that you? I heard you. Oh, you've done well. But, you would expect more from them, because particularly around that time, people were getting married, people were in corporate world. So you expect that at least when they see you or you tell them of what you do, they recommend you, they use you for their programs. Well, a few of them did, and thanks to them, the brand still grew. But some of them still sort of didn't want to believe in you. But that is the lesson in life, because it tells you that you should not put your trust in man. Sometimes the people you know are not those who come to your help. Sometimes very strange people you meet on a first time level. They just see something different in you, and then they just push you to the next level. But notwithstanding, some friends have been great. They have been helpful. So I've talked about family, I've talked about friends, and the next challenge was the industry as a whole. So when I started emceeing after my first year of learning, when I decided to go out professional, I wasn't really structured as Addo Karley. So you go for an event, even though you've discussed the price, they pay you less than what you agreed on. Oh, Karley, you know, this and this challenges the decor people, the photographer, so this is what is left. You take it for your transport. We'll get back to you, you know, that sort of thing. So in my mind, I sit back and I look at the kind of decor there and the kind of amounts they will spend on decor. Okay, the kind of amount they'll spend on photography. I'm not downplaying anybody's, profession. Every bit of it is important in event coordination. So, but then you look at me, because some of them thought that emceeing is a very simple thing. You just get up and you go, you make noise. Oh, now we welcome Ebenezer Amwa. Now we welcome Mary Minster. They think it's that, but they had no idea how much preparation, planning you had to put in. They think it's just passion. No, it is passion with preparation, with planning, with so much different elements that go into it to make it complete, to make your events, but not that you talk one to then you're smiling. What are you using to exchange value? You know, you've given off your best. So make sure that you get value out of it. When you go to an event and you MC, it shouldn't end there. It shouldn't end there. You take advantage of the presence of different people there. You network, and you never know what or where it will end you. And so I did these things, added value to my brand. Of course, I enhanced my social media presence, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Now I have a website, www.karleymettle.com. I also have a YouTube channel, which I'm gradually growing. And so all these, by the grace of God, have enhanced my brand and made it more resilient. And so these are some of the challenges I have gone through and how I overcome these challenges. So now, I wouldn't say that challenges come because of your gender or whatever. Somebody might ask me or may think that I may have had challenges in the industry because it's male dominated. No, I think that the challenges are general to almost every MC. If you ask any MC or anybody in a similar industry, they'll tell you that when they were starting, these were some of the challenges they encountered: family, friends, not giving value for their work, what have you. But I also believe that partnerships to a large extent have helped my brand grow. You wouldn't believe that there's an amazing community of MCs out there. Besides my mentor who helped me and helped me grow, I also had other people who reached out to me. They just see me and they're like, oh, young lady, I think you're doing well, you're doing something right, let me help you. So somebody will just say, oh, today I have like 3 events, let me just give you one. Go and do this. There's been a lot of them. I would love to mention names, but I wouldn't want to leave anybody out, so I would hold them. But so many amazing MCs who have held my hand, and I'm really, really grateful to them. I think social media again has also played a major role to a large extent, to this, in the sense that posting, engaging your target audience, getting feedback. People have sent me feedback that has really helped me. Sometimes I write something and maybe in a rush, there's a little mistake where there isn't supposed to be a comma. I put a comma or something, a spelling error. They inbox me, oh, Karley, this, you didn't do it well, so correct it. Or something, just something. And that really makes me grateful that, oh, at least people are not just liking my pictures because they look good or because I sound good or for it, but at least they also care about my growth and they give me feedback, which I really, really, really did or still do appreciate. So these are some of the things that have helped me. So that should tell us that whatever you are doing, you have to do it and do it well, because you never know who would be looking out for you or who will be watching you. So if you're selling gari, you're selling kenke, shito, whatever you're doing, it's good to consider branding it very, very well. Sometimes you just have to put in a little extra money, a little extra time, a little extra effort, take feedback from people, and then it would help you grow your brand to a large extent. I remember some years back, somebody told me something, that there's a certain musician, he feels the musician is too cheap. Everywhere he's there, he's all over the place, and they are not paying him well and all that, and even small events cry. And I listened and I was like, oh really, is that the case? But fast forward some years back, the musician has blown everybody's mind, received several awards in Ghana and beyond, is all over the place now. If you should know who I'm talking about, you could guess. First gospel artist to win VGMA Musician of the Year. And that really inspired me to some extent, because I received invites from people who necessarily may not have had a budget for me, but they'll tell me that this is an event, we want you to be there, we believe in you. And that one alone is consoling. Sometimes I look at the background from which they are coming and look at the direction they want to go. I'm like, these people are doing something good. Let me go and support them. Even if they don't really pay me for my value, I think I should come and identify with them and MC for them. And it's really helped, because sometimes you go for a quote and unquote small event and you don't know who is sitting in there. That person may be the next Bill Gates or something. The link they'll give you alone, it would blow your mind. And those are some experiences I have had, and so I do not take them for granted at all. So these have been some of my experiences, both good and bad, and how I have worked at them. My brand is where it is because of people. So I do take people very seriously, my relationships with people. It's not easy, but in this busy world of ours, I strive to maintain a good rapport and relationship with people, because people do matter. So in conclusion, I've talked a lot. In conclusion, what I'll say is, if dreams are free, why dream small? Dream big. But you can think global and start locally. You may want to go local, be the next Bill Gates, the next Jack Ma, the next Aliko Dangote, what have you, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Oprah Winfrey, whoever you can think of. I mean, there's nothing under the sun that has not been done. We keep reinventing the wheel, but start somewhere, just start something, and pursue your purpose with passion. Pursue your purpose with passion, because passion defies all odds. Passion defies all fears. Have you ever been in love with somebody? Now, let's be real. Have you been in love with somebody before? Maybe you were from Kumasi or Takoradi and the person was in Accra or Cape Coast. And then, you travel like every Saturday or every month to go and visit them because of love. Yes, if we'll be honest with each other, we've been there before. And when you are traveling by road, those roads can be dangerous sometimes, high rates of accidents. But has it ever occurred to you that you never thought of being involved in an accident because of love? You go after these people. So that is passion. And therefore, if we are passionate about whatever purpose we have in our lives, we have to pursue it with all diligence, with all our strength, with all our might, with everything that's within us. Because, permit me to preach, the Bible says that A man's gift will make room for him, and it will bring him before great people. Also says that, seest thou a man diligent in his ways, he will stand before kings and queens. So let's not just work with passion, but let's build our passion with diligence, with hard work, with a lot of things that can help us. Continuous learning, networking, rebranding, what have you. And we'll definitely get there with time. Challenges will come our way, as I indicated earlier, but it's not really about when you fall. It's about how you react to the fall and how you make lemons out of lemonades. Thank you very much. My name is Karley Mettle. Grateful for your time.